All right. What's going on, party people? All right, let's get this thing on and popping. Whew. Let's see here. All right. Let me get all of my logistics together. What's we got here? I think we good to go on my cameras. All of that. All right. Good afternoon. This is Shirley. Doing good, lady. Doing good. Doing good. All right, Shannon. Cool. What's going on, Q? All right. My man Q got some good stuff coming on. All right, son. All right. My youngest heading out. He's going up to Richmond. He has a gymnastics meet that he has to coach up there. So, all right, party people. Fritter Friday. Y'all know how we do it. They gave me a baby fritter today. And they only had one left. They gave me a daggone baby fritter. I'm like, what in the world? I was like, gave me a baby fritter. And so I'm actually gonna say this for later, but I really didn't eat anything this morning. So I got me a bowl of rice. So fritter fried and some rice today. That's what we got going on. Fritter fried and some rice. Just did a scan back. Had to hear him get that done. And trying to minimize my getting up and down doing the live streams because people like to hit the yeah, my baby fritter, yeah. People like to hit the thumbs down because I be getting up and all of that stuff. So y'all hit the like button so that YouTube will push it out, share, let everybody know and stuff. So I know y'all seen the topic, and I also I'm inviting y'all to come in and give your opinion about it. And I've talked about this a little bit before when I first started. Yeah, they good. The baby fritter's good. Yeah, stuff. What's going on, All Star? One of the things a while back, let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Because one of the things I did a while back, talking about, let me see. Here it is. All right. Let me pull this up so y'all can see. Get this going. All right. Put that on pause. Oh, my bad. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. All right. Let me go back. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm sitting up here trying to hit pause and I kept clicking the forward button. And so, all right. So let me share this screen out to y'all. There's a video, and matter of fact, let me and it's sad on this video here. Sad because it's only got 600 views on it, and it needs to have more. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. See, I'm all right. Put that in the chat. All right. So I just put that in the chat. Let me share this screen with y'all real quick. Oh, I know what I gotta do. All right. So let me move that. So this video here, the support of your family is crucial to the success of your notary business. And just as the title of this video is talking about, does your family support your notary business? That's very, very key. you got to have the support of your family. 20-minute videos, not that long. Y'all should go look at that. Only 600 views. I'm like, so only 600 people think their family needs to have they need support of their family. It is very crucial that you get the support of your family in your notary business. If you don't have the support of your family, I'm telling you, that can be detrimental. And note what I'm saying. I'm talking about your notary business, okay? Not having support as an entrepreneur, because there are some businesses that your family can get behind, okay? There are some businesses your family will hop on, get behind, because they can see that there's money in that arena. But the notary business, that's a little different. That's a little different. They're like, what do you mean you're a notary? What do you mean? And then if you're quoting all of the stuff that you see online, the $10,000 a month people, that's going to really make them question you. I mean, $10,000 a month. So this is stuff that people aren't used to seeing, and you're talking about, and you're saying that it can be very, very difficult for them to get behind you on that. When you're talking that way. So it's key, whether you're married or single. Well, single if you got kids. If you got kids, then it's really crucial for your kids. Even though your kids might be small, they still need to know what mom and dad are doing. Because you might have single dads, single parent moms. It's crucial that they understand what you're doing out here and why you're doing it. Because if you're working a W-2 or in your area, the only time they got signings is in the evening, then what will end up happening is you could end up not being home during a time that the people are used to you being home. So you're gone, you're not even there anymore because you're out, making money, and they're like, where's mom? Where's dad? I'm not used to this. So you got to prepare them for change. And that's one of the things that this book here, 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, talks about preparing people for change. A true leader will prepare you for change. You got to get prepared for change. You got to get those that are following you prepared for change. And a lot of people don't do that. They just hop up there and do it. And I admit, I was one of them, and I can still be one of them from time to time that just hops out there and does, whatever. And I had to learn not to do that, so I don't do that anymore, or I've minimized it greatly. And of course, my wife will probably tell you different and everything and all of that good stuff. So let me bring my man Q back in here. What's going on, man?
Good afternoon. What's going on?
Nothing, man. Just trying to chop it up with the family, talk about some of this, about making sure your family got your back. That's important.
Absolutely. Sorry I had to step away for a second. I realized that I didn't have my light on, so I was looking kind of dark in here. But no, this is a great topic, and I'm glad that you mentioned single fathers, because I'm a single dad. I have my kids all the time, and that's something that my kids are really proud of me and what I'm doing. So it's really good that we talk to our children about this stuff. My kids right now, you see, I've got Q the Notary gear on right now. They're asking for they want notary kid shirts. So I'm in the process of designing Q the Notary kids, and they're like, oh, I want video games on there. I want this. I want my name on there. Yeah. So we're in that process right now because it's something that they love. Like, they love the fact that their dad's a notary. My son takes my business card to school with him, and he shows it off to his little friends and everything. So
yeah,
it's good to get your kids involved in something like that,
Yeah, and it is, and and see this. Now, I'll be honest. This can also really, really test when you are when you're married or dating. This can really test that relationship. It can really, because you go from not really hanging out in the evenings to you're gone. I mean, and that's what happened with us. Now, I did tell my family I prepared them ahead of time, and I wasn't even prepared for the amount of being gone that I was going to be. I was like, man, I am on the road. It's like literally when and see, a lot of people, y'all caught me at when I got full time, but when I was part time in the business, I was literally go to work. I get off at 3, I come home, print docs, and then I'm gone till 10 o'clock at night. Go to bed, get up and do it again. And you talking about 4 or 5 days a week. Then the weekends, I get up, I'm gone. Saturday morning, I'm out doing signings, come back home, hang out with the family on Sunday. Sometimes I have a Sunday signing. And you have to get your family prepared for you not being there so that they can support you. And if you got a spouse or a significant other, you got to make sure that they don't think you creeping. That's just being
Absolutely.
real, because all of a sudden you gone, and then next thing you know, like one of the ladies named Kylie, she called, hey, this is Kylie, I got a signing for you. And if your girl or your dude ain't, you like, hold on, who calling you at 9 o'clock at night? Who does notary at 9? Nobody does notary at night. You know what I'm saying? And people can, like, stuff starts going in their head. So you actually have to really bring them into the business so that they can see. And then when you start getting the checks, you show them the checks. You show them, like this here, you show them the receipts, you show them the checks that you're getting, and let them see the money being deposited in the account. And then you are actually paying bills, and they're like, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. How much money we need for that bill? Here you go. Right. And that lets them know, okay, you are doing work, but you can't do this. And then you're being gone at night and then turn around and they never see the money. They never see a check come through. They never see bills getting paid out of this money you're making. Okay, what are you doing at night? And all of that good stuff. What you got, man?
Right. Ultimately, when it comes down to working with a spouse, you just got to let them know, like, I provide a service, and that's what we are. We're service providers. And unfortunately, yes, we do have the ability to accept appointments and kind of set our own schedules, but money doesn't sleep. And we're kind of beheld to what the signer is available for. So if you have to take a signing at 10 o'clock at night because that person's been busy all day and that's the only opportunity that they have to get documents signed, that's when you have to go. If you get a phone call at 11 o'clock at night, some people would say no, but if you got somebody, some family members at a hospital and things are going left real quick with a family member and they need to get some things notarized, we are there for them. And that's part of the responsibility of being a notary. So, you just have to talk to them and let them know, like, hey, this is what's going on. This is where we're at right now.
All right, I'm just. So anybody? Oh, I sent the wrong video, the wrong link out, y'all. My bad. Let me put the correct link out there. So yeah, so that has been a big plus for me, by me being able to do that. And I learned that early on in the marriage that I gotta communicate and let my wife know what's going on, how it's going on, somewhat of the plan. Sometimes I'm the type that is like, I see it, but I may not be that great at communicating what I see. So I just go do it and like, hey, look at the results of what I did. And I realized that may not necessarily be the best way all the time, so I just say, okay, I can't just, do it that way. And I'm going to just make sure that I actually communicate with her. So now I know there's some ladies on here. Okay. For you ladies who are married, I want you to hop on and talk to me about what you are doing or have done to coordinate with your husband. Because sometimes some husbands, and I'm not trying to get all in your business, but some husbands, they can, we can be a little difficult. All of a sudden our sweetheart is running up and down the street at night. You're like, hey, where you going, girl? Get everything. So if you got a good story that shows that how you coordinated and got your husband on board, even though he may not fully understand the business or even care about the business, feel free to hop on and share. But that is very, very key. You got to be able to do that. And then even with your kids, my sons, they was older, they were grown actually, and they were used to me being around to do certain things in the house. And I say, hey, look, dad ain't gonna be here. Got to get the trash out. Got to bring the trash can in. You got to do this cleaning. Got to do that cleaning. Mom's going to need your help. I need you to be available to help mom out and this, that, and the other. Because with them doing that, it enables me to be able to do what I do in the business, and then everybody can benefit, and we all have, which means you have to recognize your limitations, how far you can actually stretch yourself. You might not be able to really do it. You got to okay, well, I can't do everything. I need to go ahead on and do that. So Miss Crystal says, my boyfriend goes with me on some signings at night. Yep. Correct.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that is excellent. And that happens for a lot of people, that their spouse, significant other will go with them on a closing and everything. Oh, you at your W-2? All right. I understand. And then, so see, that is one of the things that happen. And this is what needs to happen. So you go out there and everything. Let's see, my daughter said, yeah, she gets the hustle. And this here is what you have to do, because this is setting and planting a seed into that child's mind of you going out there, and next thing you know, they may be interested in the business now. But guess what? That means, what does that really mean? That means you got to be doing the business correctly.
Correct.
You can't be a shyster out here. You have to be out there doing the business correctly and everything.
Operating in integrity in all facets of your life, with business and your family.
Mm-hmm. So now you're saying, should you be concerned with your female partner doing signings at night?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with my female partner going to the grocery store. Mm-hmm. So at night, I'd rather take that risk than her, because you never know. People are crazy these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Waiting on the Ron, all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get out there. Yeah. Once my wife understood the flow. Now, what my wife would do in the beginning, and she even did this when I was doing the food delivery with Grubhub and stuff and Postmates, she actually would go to bed, but she would keep her phone off. She turns her phone off at night, but she would keep the phone on until I got home. She would, because just in case something came up, I needed to call her, she would keep her cell phone on. Yes, we have a house phone, but she would keep the cell phone on, and everything. And then sometimes I might send a text to her, let her know, hey, I'm on my way home. I'm done for the night. Or if let's say, sometimes I might say I'm gonna be out till 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night doing the food delivery or even the closing, and another order came in, I would let her know, hey, I'm still gonna be out here for a little bit longer. And she'd be like, all right, cool. And then once I came home, I let her know I'm home, and then she turned her phone off and going back to sleep. So you coordinate, and that brings peace of mind and everything. And then it also it empowers that spouse to be able to keep the kids calm, because you don't know what you get. Again, it's very, very different than just working a W-2. You're constantly going. I mean, when I first started, there was times where I would get home and I'm like, all right, I'm done. And then next thing I know, I get an order come in or a phone call for a $200 order. And they're like,
gotta go.
You're like, all right,
gotta go.
I gotta go. And and they looking, I'm like, I'll be back. And this is why you print the documents, you do everything there. They see you prepping the documents. They see you actually going through the process. And they're like, okay, you for real. You really are doing stuff. And then again, and I would sit there and I would show my sons the money that I made. I would show them the checks. I would say, look, this is what I got.
I do the same thing.
And my kids are like, oh, wow, okay, you really are making money. Yeah.
Yep.
And then just I was like, okay, here you go. And I would give them some money. So sometimes some of the companies, they would send a check. I always like them to do it in my business name, but sometimes they would do it in my personal name. So they did it in my personal name. I would go to the bank, cash it, and then I would give them some of the money just so they could see that, oh, okay, dad is really making money. This ain't, he's just not out there ripping and running the streets. He's actually working. Then you go and give your wife some money, even though your wife may not necessarily need it, or that significant other. In your case, you like, here you go, let me break you off some, here's some money. And I ain't talking about giving, I know you wouldn't. I ain't talking to you give them $5. So here's $5, babe, go get you some fries from Chick-fil-A or something like that. But actually, break some off for them. That lets them know, because here's the other side. I don't know for as the man, what could be for the fellow, but for some ladies, you got girlfriends that'll be like, why Q always going at night? I saw him down on 3rd and Main Street down there riding. I mean, what was he doing down there? He was making my look, girl. Look,
he was making my money.
You see this stack,
right?
Wait a minute. You used to get your stack, yeah, but now my stack is like this because my man out there doing it. He out there doing that notary thing. He making money like that. Oh, I'm gonna tell Raekwon to give him a call. Nah, Raekwon ain't gonna do what he do. But that's what it is, because people will sit there and tell your spouse, your significant other, nah, they can't be making no money as a notary. I mean, like last night, I did a last minute notary assignment. Then on my way out the door, me and Q was talking about this last night. I got a call from somebody who knew somebody that knew me, referred me to go and do a will at the hospital. It was only $25. They gave me a huge tip. Ended up walking out of there with 110. So I'm sitting there like, okay. And I didn't ask for the tip. I was like, it was $20 travel fee, $5 for the stamp. And because they couldn't get any other notaries to come down there, and I told them, I said, I promise you, I will take care of you tonight. I got a 6 o'clock appointment. Let me take care of that, and I will come down there and get you taken care of. They said, okay, cool. And I already knew, and I had a feeling I was going to get tipped good, because when I told them the price, I said it's $20 travel fee. They're like, no problem. They didn't pause or anything. Now, when you tell them the travel fee, and they like, and they get real quiet on me.
Like, oh, there's a travel fee too?
Yes. They're like, oh. And I said, and then I say it's $5 for each time I stamp the document, depending on how many notarizations. And they get even quiet. They're like, but this guy was like, no problem, man. We'll take care of you. Come on down. And I was like, bet. So the person who needed the daughter, she paid me. Then the other guy, he was like, what's your cash app? I told him my cash app. Slap some more on there. I was like, so that's the kind of stuff that you can have happen, but you got to be prepared for it in your family, because let's just be real. We've seen the movies and the stories on TV of families sabotaging businesses. They get in there and they get jealous. They get jealous. So even your extended family, in other words, the family who I'm talking about is any family member that you feel that could actually sabotage your business. You see what I'm saying? You're not in a situation yet. Good, good. But if you ever start dating, you want to make sure that, oh, you finally caught me live. Cool. You want to make sure that you
gotta communicate that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got to communicate that. Let them know how your lifestyle is. If you're not in that situation yet, you got your business going. Your partner needs to be aware, or the person that you're dating needs to be aware of what you're doing, because that could start some serious drama for people. Especially coming into a new situation. If they don't understand that my hours are flexible, I don't work a regular 9 to 5. You got to let them know up front, like, my hours vary. And that doesn't mean, if you call me at 10 o'clock and I don't answer, it doesn't mean I'm laid up with somebody else or I'm out with somebody else. It could mean that I'm out finishing up a signing. It could mean that I'm busy prepping my documents. It could
Mm-hmm.
be that I'm doing scan backs at the moment, and my scan is just too loud, and I'm focusing on other things. I'm scanning and printing documents out at the same time.
Right.
We do things when it is convenient for us, and sometimes that's late at night. We don't have time in the morning because we got to sign it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So we have to be about that business at that time. And if you're distracted, that's when you start making this, mistakes. So you just got to like prep people for that, prep the people that you're going to have in your life that this is my business. My business, I might be open from, 9 to 9. However, I still operate 24/7 because it could happen.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, and I tell people all the time, I say, yeah, no, I will take care of you. You call me, so I keep my cell phone on. So my main line that's on my business card, because I got 2 phones, but one I turn off, and then the other one, I keep that on because that's on my business card. And I let people know that you can call me 24 hours a day, and I will get you taken care of and everything. And so far, I have not had anybody call me in the middle of the night, but I'm prepared just in case that does happen, and stuff. So yeah, you have to get them prepared, and especially, and as in Star, I think her name Star McQueen, she was talking about this yesterday on Clubhouse, about being an entrepreneur and being in a relationship, and how do you make that work. And if you're with somebody and they truly don't have a business mindset, they're not there. One of the things that I suggest, and I didn't get a chance to say it on over there because I actually forgot to say it, was if you're in a relationship, the moment you start going into that mindset or that mode of entrepreneurship, you immediately need to talk to that person and share the resource. Now you don't have to make them sit down with you. Okay, because now, and I'm telling you from experience, because with my wife, because she was hardcore W2, I was W2, but I always had an inkling to do a business. And from day one she met me, I was always doing some type of business on the side or something. And I would make sure that I have resources available for her, as well as my sons, that talked about wealth, entrepreneurship. I would share with her my videos, let her know about them. And I would never go back and say, did you look at it? I didn't care. She didn't have to look at it, but she just had to have access to it, so that down the road, whenever she was ready to, she could. I didn't want it to be forced. So I wasn't going to force her to look at a video about running your own business and this, that, and the other. But I would talk to her about it. She would ask me what I'm doing, this, that, and the other. And I would ask her opinion, because I wanted her feedback. So even though her mindset may not have been there at the moment, but I knew she had valuable insight that she could offer and help me understand the concepts of what they're saying. And, hey, what's going on? All things, Nata Jen. And feel free to hop on, ladies, because the ladies, we know y'all got valuable input too. And all
y'all don't want
that.
to be sitting here looking at my ugly mug all day.
So, so that's one of the things that I did. And as time went by, she started grabbing hold of it. And I was, and it was somebody I was listening to, and she was like, it just clicked one day that she needed to have her own business. And this is after 15 years. Keep in mind, this is after basically almost 15 years of me planting seed, sharing all of that. And I even told her what the type of business she could do. And I just told her 1 or 2 times, and I just said, I'm gonna let that marinate. And the reason why I only had to share it with her a few times is because my wife has a very, very good memory, and she remembers everything. So I have to be careful about what I say and do, because she remembers everything. I mean, even to this day, she'll be like, yeah, you did such and such when we first got married. And I was like, okay, this is what I married. And I was like, I did that. And she was like, yeah, you did that. And I was like, oh, my bad. And I'm still apologizing for it.
But you love her for it too.
Yeah. Kumo D, there he is.
Look, the shades.
Hey, how you doing?
There he is. JC in his house. Look at him.
I'm in my house. I'm waiting for somebody to come up and do some fingerprinting. So but I saw you were online, so I decided to hop on while I'm waiting,
Yeah. So Jeff, we talking about balancing your family with the notary business, not just entrepreneurship, but specifically with the ins and outs and the ripping and running you have to do as a notary. So what's some of the things that you did to help balance things out so your family could support you and understand what you have to do as a notary?
Oh yeah, that's a difficult one, and it depends on where you are in your life. And I have kids that are in junior high and high school, and it's a little different dynamic for me versus somebody that's a little older that has grown kids or older, like kids in their 20s or 30s or whatever.
Or like old like me, huh?
Yeah, you're not much older than I am. I just have younger kids. So, but so what I have done in my business in particular, so I'm divorced, so I only have my kids half the time. So it's a little different for me than somebody that has their kids full time. So I have my kids Mondays and Tuesdays and every other weekend. So this weekend I don't have my kids. So I kind of work my schedule around their schedule. So I know I'm going to pick them up from school and drop them off on Monday and Tuesday. So I kind of know that. So if I get assignments, I try and say, well, I can't do it or whatever, and try and move those people around to fit those people in around their schedule. And that's kind of how I work my schedule. And then I also want to say that I do dedicate some time to be with my kids. They don't like it when I work, and I'm like, well, you want to eat, right? So, and I bring that up, but they kind of we have a little problem going on, some drama in my immediate family and extended family. So it's kind of a difficult juggle there. They don't want to, they always want to be around me. They don't want to be around my wife and that kind of thing. So I kind of have to work around their schedule and make it work. And for the most part, it's been working out quite well. I'm able to, attend to them when I have them, and then fit my notary business around that. And I have, like you see, I'm here on my porch right now with the houses in the background there. I couldn't do that before the pandemic. I mean, I had people call me like, you're not coming to my house and I'm not going to yours. So with this pandemic, a lot of people are more open now to come to me. And so that allows me to be here at the house more, taking notary appointments or, live scan, whatever. I had a guy come yesterday. They were doing some loan documents and like, okay, yeah, I can do them for you, so, it works out. It's not ideal, but I like the flexibility that, I'm able, the setup that I have here that I was able to come up with because of this pandemic has helped me in many more ways than I first thought would be possible. And that's primarily with the family, being able to be here. Because, if you're on your porch and your kids are there, they're like happy that I'm here, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm just on a porch, So it's not like I'm going out somewhere and won't be back for an hour or two, So
okay, cool. All right, let's bring in Miss All Things Nata Jean. How you doing, lady?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Griff. I follow you on Clubhouse, and I'm kind of new to the notary thing. I just got commissioned last year, and I just been doing general notary work. And the guy right here, Agni, I kind of listen to him too with the fingerprint thing, because we're both in California.
Gotcha.
And so the topic is about the family being supportive. You know what? I got some of my family members actually now getting their notary certifications and stuff. And my aunt, I talked to her last night. She actually went ahead and applied. She lives in North Carolina. And I was giving her all the gist of everything that falls under the notary umbrella. she's 60 years old. She's retired. She got her husband had passed, so he left her everything. So she's like just tired of sitting at home, bored, nothing to do. And I
Right.
put her on to this. I actually put like a couple of my friends onto it. So it's like, it's just, the word is out. The word is out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they're very happy for me because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs. Like I was doing like e-commerce, like doing things online. But then when I came across this, and I think what was it, Mark Wills, his video kind of captivated me. So I was like, let me do this notary stuff. Then I found you. Then I found the Judi Lawrence lady.
Yeah.
So it was just like so I'm sucked in now. I'm in the whole notary world, and now I'm here. So it's like a cool thing to be a part of. It's so cool to be part of like this whole network of notaries. Like it's a great group to be part of. So
it is. It's a great group, and that's why it's important that we, as I've always talked about, your notary laws, you understand things and do things right. And then we are colleagues and we have to support and help each other out in this business, and all of that. So that is awesome. So so what type of, so what is some of the work that you've been doing? Type of closing or notary work you've been doing?
I've just been like, let me see here. Like, just, what is it? Like I did what I do the other day. Gosh, what is these documents? Like I had to do like something. What was that? I have it all written down in my journal. Let me see. Sorry about that. But just general notary work for the most part or whatever. And like I just finished the loan signing agent certification, and I had my first one the other day, and it was a reverse mortgage.
Cool.
And but it was through SnapDocs. And, listening to you guys, and it's like, they only want to pay me like a small amount, but I went ahead and took it anyway just to get the experience, right? Should I have not done it? I don't know. I just went ahead and took it anyway.
No, you need
to take everything you can get.
Take everything. Yeah.
I mean,
so,
well, because one of the things is, this is one of the difficulties for new notaries. You hear the dollar amount stuff before you ever get to a point of taking work. So you have subconsciously in your head, I'm supposed to be getting this because everybody else says that. But then the reality is a company says, well, we can only pay you this. And that can throw you off. You're like, wait a minute. Everybody said this, but the company said that. Who's telling the truth here? That company must be trying to jerk me over because I'm brand new. And you think that, but that's not necessarily the case. Because even this week, I had an order that came in, and normally this company will pay me, and like 125, and I was like, okay, and I noticed that they were starting to come down on their price a little, and I was like, okay, and they said we're gonna do 110 with scanbacks, and I just sort of chuckled to myself. I said, you know what? Let me see what's going on here. It was only 25 pages. It was only 25. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. Now, granted, with some of the reverse mortgage stuff, people try to have you do a reverse mortgage and they only want to pay like $75, stuff like that for it. Now, there are some companies that will pay $150 or more for a reverse mortgage. So it all depends on the avenue in which it comes. The companies outside of SnapDocs tend to pay more for reverse mortgages. The companies inside of SnapDocs, they're a lot less. And every now and then, depending on the company, some of them will pay $150 or more. But you just don't know. However, one of the things about reverse mortgages that nobody talks about, and I'm gonna say it here, and I've said it before, is that some of these companies want you to have some experience doing them. So if you can say, like on signing order, I'm not going to say the company who I do because I don't want people to think I'm caping for them or whatever, or somebody might not like the company. But on signing order, one of the companies, they ask you, do you have experience doing reverse mortgages? So that goes all the way back to what I say in my video about your profile will separate you from them. In that video, I talk about communicating in your profile your experience. not just saying I'm so-and-so certified. I took so-and-so's training course. You can take that training course, which most of the time, a lot of these courses ain't nothing but marketing courses,
Right.
but it doesn't prove that you know how to do your stuff as a notary. So you have to verbally say, I say verbally, but textually say in your profile, I have done 15 reverse mortgages. You say that, and then you can communicate that you understand that like a reverse mortgage has a HUD 1 and not a CD. You see what I'm saying? You communicate that in your profile. What title company or signing company be like, okay, well, we're gonna give her a chance because you said this is your background. Now, the other side of it is when you actually conduct the closing, you got to do it right. And that's where the problem has come in. And this is what caused issues for a lot of notaries now, is that people lied and said, I got this experience, but when they went to do the closing, they was completely confused about how to do the notarization part. A reverse mortgage is easy, in my opinion. Because they get counseling, they have people that go over the documents with them, so they know before you get there what's going on. If that couple doesn't know what's going down and why they're doing the reverse mortgage and this, that, and the other, that's cause for concern, in my opinion, because reverse mortgages, they have to go through counseling, and they have a counseling person with them as well as the loan officer. And that loan officer, in a lot of cases, will sometimes be on the phone or be in there with them. So you having a reverse mortgage, in my opinion, that was a good thing. How many pages was it? Less than 200 or more?
Yeah, it was less than 200, but I was so scared of it because knowing about the saying certain loan packages, and that's like one of the most scary ones, So I went
What makes it
online,
scary?
and because I don't know the rhetoric that you hear about it, like the reverse mortgage, you're dealing with older people.
See,
It's what you hear,
See, it's what you
Yeah.
heard, but it's
Yeah.
what you okay. So let's unpack that real quick. What you heard versus what you actually experienced. How did they match up?
What I experienced, it was a breeze. From my understanding, I haven't heard nobody say nothing back or anything.
But what I'm
So
saying, yeah. So what you heard, the negativity that you heard had nothing to do. It was not the experience. It was not the reality. From what I'm gathering, it was a lot easier for you to go in there. You went in there and did it, and it's like, okay, this isn't
right.
just because they're older people doesn't mean that they're not competent or they're going to be difficult. And that's what people do. They say these things to scare you off, to make you think that you shouldn't do these type of signings, but yet they're doing them themselves and they're making the money off of that. And then, because look, if y'all saying that the refinance market is shifting and on a change, and there's not going to be as many refinances, well, guess what? There's reverse mortgages. And if you spend 6-7 months in the business running away from reverse mortgages, never doing them, and then the refinance market shifts, but the reverse mortgage industry increases. Now you spent 6-7 months not getting experience in reverse mortgages. So yes, all the way back to your first question, should you have taken it? Yes, you should have taken it, because two things just happened. You got experience and you got paid, because that is the reason why you joined the notary, to get paid. You got paid, and as you get that experience, the pay will increase. That fee that you got is not infinitum. It is not there forever, unless you just keep dealing with that company. But there's other companies out there. One company on signing order, they pay me $150 a pop to do the reverse mortgages. And as a disclaimer, NNA and all of you other folk out there, I am not talking about price fixing or any of that. I'm just sharing my experience. So do not go around flagging me and talking about Griffiths trying to tell people you got to get paid $150. I am not saying that. And if you go around saying that, I will find you out who you are and I will get you.
That's what you're capable of being paid.
Right. That is what you're capable of being paid. And they set the price. That's what they offered. And I said, yes. So I didn't ask for it. I didn't negotiate it or anything. I just said, cool. So right now, being your first or second year, it's about getting experience so that you can say something. And then, as I always share with notaries, in all your different online profiles, wherever you have them at, you need to type in there how many signings you've actually done. Because there are people out there that actually are watching you, and they're like, okay, well, we see that you got a good review from these 2-3 companies, but we don't really know how many closings you've done. So you sit there and you type, I've completed 15 refinances, 6 sellers, 2 buyers, 4 HELOCs or whatever. And I did that for my first 200-300 signings, where I really broke it down like that. So when I recorded my stuff in my, to keep track of it, I would type the order number and then type in the word refi or HELOC or buyer or seller. So that way I could go back and count and know how many I did for that month. And then I add it to my total. And companies like that because they're like, oh, I see you've done a HELOC before. Yeah, I've only done 2 of them. Okay, but you have done them, right? Yeah. Next thing I know, I started doing more HELOCs from that company when they had them. But they don't know what you have done if you don't say what you've done. So first thing you should do before you go to bed tonight, you need to put in your profile, I've done a reverse mortgage.
Okay.
They need to know that. They don't know that unless you tell them. And stuff. So it seems like you about ready to bounce out. Got a closing?
So for me,
shopping. What we buying today?
No. No. I just did a home inspection, and so I just stopped at the grocery store real fast to bring some stuff to the kids. But it was an exterior inspection. I just had to go check out this apartment and take photos or whatever.
Okay, cool.
And that was through a company called Sandcastle.
Oh, it's Sandcastle. Oh, I thought you went with groundwork. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sandcastle.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So yeah. So what we have here, and what's your first name?
It's Renata.
Okay, Renata.
Renata.
Okay. Sometimes I guess they call you Nada.
Yeah, they do. Exactly.
All right, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you located? Where are you located in California?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in North Hollywood.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, and I just spoke with what was this? The guy that does the fingerprinting. What's his name from New York? I had a Zoom call with him the other day.
Print scan.
Yeah, that's him. I think the fingerprinting guy.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time with him. They can't do anything here in California.
Yeah, he told me that. He told me.
Yeah,
he was very honest about it.
Contact me directly. I'll tell you what you can do, who to talk to if you want to get into
that. Yeah, I know you asked me. I see you on Clubhouse. Yeah, I mean, I love this whole experience. One of my lady friends tried to get me to do this years ago, and I just was like putting it off or whatever because I wanted to be a real estate agent. And then I just was like, let me do this because it's so competitive to be a real estate agent in LA. It's so competitive.
Yeah, because Jeff, you're a real estate agent, right?
Yeah, I am. I am, but I'm not active. I mean, my license is hung there. I actually talked to my broker last week and reconnected with her. So got her interested in Ron, even though we can't do it here. I was talking to her about doing that because she runs into that situation where they need one document notarized and they're like, the people are like, can't we do it electronically? Because she sits there and sends everything DocuSign to everybody. So they're used to that. So anyway, so we're, we got reconnected, but I don't really, I asked her about the business, how it was going for her. She said, yeah, everybody's waiting until next month. So she has quite a few people that are lined up. I said, do I need to get into REOs,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People are about that, so.
Yeah, they have a bill that I saw that they're trying to get Ron in California. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's in the legislature, and it's coming down the pike. So just be ready for that. So.
Yeah.
So now a couple of people, Nada said they wanted to connect with you. So You on Instagram or anything?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is Notary World.
Okay, so at Notary World, I guess that's the at
Uh-huh.
symbol.
At Notary World. Yeah, I just got on there. As soon as I got on there, I just started getting all these people following me. I was like, wow, like the Notary World is so cool to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Definitely
so
is.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like we have our own little network, our own little community.
I know. I always refer to it as the notary world when I'm talking to people. You know,
Yep.
Really? Uh-huh.
All right. Yep, we got you. So I just put your Instagram in there because a couple of people said they want to connect with you and everything. So see, you already done blew up now.
Yeah,
Look
I'm Notary famous.
That's all right. So if y'all want to connect with her, she's right there at Notary World on Instagram. Now, don't y'all be trying to scam her, okay? Part of the party people. Look, if you run it, look, Nada, if you run across anybody who's trying to scam you, you let me know.
How do they scam though? How can you scam in this industry? I don't even know how to scam.
oh, there's ways.
Yeah.
They're getting people.
They
They're
can
getting
get,
folks out there.
you'll find somebody that wants to take your money for some little niche market or something, So
Yeah.
be aware of that.
Yes, a lot of people have courses and stuff, and it's like, okay, everybody has a course. Everybody.
Yeah, watch out for those emails talking about joining their network, and you got to pay to join their directory services and all that other good stuff too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Services.
Let me just talk about that for a second. I got Hire Notary, I think it is, or some national notary.
Yep.
They're like automatically billing my PayPal account. They're like sending me invoices. I'm like, I'm not paying that,
Mm-hmm.
It's like $15 or something. But I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm not asking for that. So just be aware of that. Anybody sending you bills and things, if you didn't ask for that or sign up for that, don't pay things like that.
Yeah, because those emails, they tell you that, we've got so many clients out there looking, we pay $150 to $200 per signing, but you have to pay to use our service.
What about the company? What is it? Thumbtack. You have to pay to use.
So I use Thumbtack, and I get a lot of general notary work from Thumbtack. So the way that works is generally anybody that's reaching out to you, they're ready. They're ready to go. And they definitely need that service. What you will encounter though, sometimes you'll find that they're doing like they've reached out to like 3 or 4 people. I think 4 is the limit that they can reach out to. So you really have to, if you're gonna be on there, because you get charged every time they contact you, right? That's called a direct lead. So you get charged for that lead. Now the fees that I'm getting charged, they're between $4 to $7. I got about a 94% conversion rate right now. And getting those leads, and generally, I mean, I'm making anywhere between $45 to $130 per appointment that I'm getting on there. So $4 to $7 versus what I'm making off of it. That's nothing. It's welcome. It's very welcome to get that type of lead generation system in there. So I would recommend it. I think that it's worth it. Make sure that you definitely follow there's a success model that they have, responding on time, responding to everybody. The quicker that you respond, the better off you're going to be, the better support that you get. They have classes and stuff to help entrepreneurs. They have networking events. So the more that you do, the more you'll get involved with Thumbtack, and they help you. So it's definitely a great service. I would highly recommend it.
Okay, so they're not like a scam company or whatever.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
No, I've been on them since 2018 or something, before they were doing their current model. I don't know how it worked before. I can't remember, but yeah, it's I was on there when they were brand new. So it works out. Now it doesn't work as well for me, just because there's so many notaries on there. So I don't get a lot of direct leads now, and it's hard to get those people converted sometimes, even if you call them. So
yeah, it's a lot of marketing, and they give you advice on how to have better success with Thumbtack, you know, filling out the profile completely, getting background checked, answering the questions that they have there for you. Definitely want to do that. You know, really, I mean, and Griff and I have talked about this a lot. We have a service that sells itself. Either you need it or you don't. So what are they actually buying? They're buying you. That's what they're buying. So, you know, you have to market yourself properly. And that's where you'll find your success with Thumbtack.
Yeah, and even like in my area, I was trying to do the Thumbtack, and this was before people even talked about. I mean, really, like in 2019, and I would get notifications, but then the person would never respond back.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I've noticed with Thumbtack. Sometimes, so the messages go directly to their email, and if they're not looking at their email, then you're just talking to nobody. So one of the things that I've done is I'll shoot them a message and then call them immediately, and try to make that contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you know, you have the ability to see leads that aren't direct and communicate with them. I think I've only gotten 2, and that's only because those people are looking at their email. And I think I haven't tested it yet, but I think those emails might be going to people's spam boxes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So, you know, that's what I like to do. I shoot them a message, letting them know I'll get in contact with them shortly. And shortly, I mean like 30 seconds, because I'm giving them a call so nobody else has an opportunity to.
Yeah, and that's the key, is to send a quick message and then call right away, because you'll get their number, and then once you make that contact, the likelihood is you're going to get that will be converted because you're making the call versus playing this text or email game with the program. Because I've done that where I sent a thing, hey, I'm available at whatever time you want, and I don't hear back. I don't even, you know, I've done that a couple of times, haven't called, and you know, nothing happens. You know, they'll send me a message maybe later on, say, yeah, we're going a different direction, or whatever the Thumbtack you know, messages that they provide to the client, you know, just throw something back to me, you know. So
yeah, I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of what it is. But I figure if I'm paying for this, I better do everything that I can to contact these people as quickly as possible. Because, you know, $4 to $7 is nothing if you're getting it back. But if you're not getting it back, it starts to add up.
Yeah, that's why I got off it for a while, because this was years ago. This was back in 2018. You know, I was getting these direct leads all the time, but nothing was coming of it. You know, I'd get 1 or 2 and converted, but that was now I'm not getting as many. So I have a little bit more experience trying to convert people over. But I had one a couple days ago. The guy, I called him, and then he started changing stuff. Well, I need a Spanish notary. I'm like, okay, well, I can help you. You know, so I got a Spanish notary lined up and everything, and it just fizzled out. The guy never. I sent him a link. Hey, pay the dollar amount, and I'll get you set up. And he never got back to me. I'm like, okay, fine. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of that kind of thing too. I mean, there are a lot of people on Thumbtack. They do shop around because you do get multiple opportunities to pick a different notary. So just be aware of that.
Right, and that was one of my concerns when I really got started with them. But they do limit the amount of people that, you know, a customer can contact when they're making those first contacts. I think it's either 4 or 5 is the limit. So you're in competition with those people if they've reached out to that many. Oftentimes it's like 1 or 2 that I see. So as soon as it hits my inbox, I'm calling just to cut that other person off, because I don't want to give them a chance. You know, and that's kind of what it is. And another thing with Thumbtack is a lot of people don't even know it exists. You know, Thumbtack is still kind of new. It's out there right now, but a lot of people, you know, in the general public don't even know that it exists. So, you know, not that I want to pay for leads, but for advertising that I'm doing, I do free advertising for them, just so that way they know that it's available. If they so happen to want to go through Thumbtack to contact me, that's perfectly fine. I'm still going to make my money regardless.
And what I'm showing y'all now is one of those companies that be sending out all those emails. This is National Notary Registry. out of nowhere, they sent me.
That's the one. That's the one that sent me
Yep.
the invoice through PayPal directly to me.
And this is my PayPal, and I'm like, what the heck? I ain't paying y'all. And then here's a trip party. Like, it's $30 a year, but you're getting a $10 discount. So I'm like, no. And see, now let
They're
me share.
taking advantage of you because I got it for 15.
Oh, snap. Oh, no. Nah.
Definitely not.
Now, see, here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part. Notaries talk about, I don't want to do a signing unless I'm getting paid this dollar amount. But yet this company is sending out tons of notifications to get at $10 or $15 or $20, and they're looking at the volume of it. They're not trying to get a few notaries at $100 a pop. They figure that we can get more notaries at a low amount. We can make some money that way, because most people won't take, they're okay with losing out on $20, and they won't come after us for that. And what I'm saying is, other business entities recognize doing volume. They recognize doing volume when they need to. So it's like, okay, there's a time where you really do need to do volume and just get work coming in to get yourself established. But it doesn't always have to stay that way. It doesn't always have to stay at the $60 or $70 signings. But at some point in time, if you spent $2 or $3 grand to get in this business, you got a good, smart business person will start making money doing something to start trying to recoup that money. And what's happening is that notaries are being told, don't do anything to recoup that money back. Only take the big orders. If the big orders aren't there for a lot of new notaries, then you end up after 6 months to a year with nothing. You don't have anything to show for it, and that's the sad part with it. Thank you, Miss Tina M, for the super chat. And then she also said here that hire notary people. That hire. They got me. I didn't realize that was when it first started. Now here's the sad part also. There are notaries out there who are on YouTube, in Facebook groups, that know these companies are scams, and they don't say anything. They don't say anything. There's notary, because when you talk about them, then they all come out, oh yeah, they've been a scams in the last 5 years, the whole 5 years I've been a notary. And you never thought that you maybe once a month, twice a month, you should put a post out there to let people know? Daily, weekly notaries are coming in, and this scammer is out there. Yeah, don't sign up with them. Okay, well, it's too late, and I already did, and they hit my card. Why y'all didn't say? I'm like, tell me, don't let me get jacked first. You let me get jacked, and then you tell me, oh, don't get jacked. Yeah. Watch out for them. I'm like, come on now.
Hey, I think that Hire Notary is out in San Francisco. There's one of them I know exactly where the address is. I haven't gone out there to see if it's somebody's apartment or what, but I'm just saying, they since notaries come in all the time, every day, new notaries, they know they got you. And it's the same thing with here in California. You have to get a bond. You get, every time you get your commission, you get like 10 or 15 things in your mail for bond, to buy a bond.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a scam, but it's just, they get those leads, right? So it's the same thing with these companies that say, hey, I'm going to provide you with work, pay for my directory. I paid for a directory too, Griff. Don't feel bad. I paid for one. They didn't even list me on there. I paid whatever. I don't even know what it would cost me. And I'm like, you didn't even put me on there. And there was like 5 people on their directory. I'm like, I just wasted money, So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and the other thing, now here's one of the bigger issues that I'm having with some of these other directories is that they are using those directories to still try to scam notaries, because they say, oh yeah, we got your name off of this directory, that directory. So because I'm on that directory now, you're sitting up here sending me these fake notary assignment requests. And I even did a video about that a couple of days ago, where I was showing the email and stuff, and they were like, yeah, we found your information on 123 Notary. And I'm like, okay. And now I have made money from using them, but at the same time I get a lot of spam from them. And now it's the question of, and the same thing with Notary Rotary and Notary Cafe.
Notary Cafe, yep.
So Notary Cafe, Notary Rotary, and 123 Notary.
Those are scam companies?
No,
it's
okay.
just
they
scammers have access to it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
the
okay.
scammers have access. Until I got onto those, I wasn't getting a whole lot of scam emails or anything. I wasn't getting a whole lot. Even though my information is out there with the NNA and all of that, but it's something about, I mean, it's like no sooner than I had signed up with Notary Cafe, I would even get phone calls. People would call me. Yeah, this Griffin Notary, yeah. Okay, yeah, we have this closing, and we're going to pay you, $175. And then I'm sitting here waiting for these documents. They never come. Then when I call the number back, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me folk are really that they trying to? I'm like, nah, bump this. Then you get the email, and later, I can't remember the name of the video I did, but go back and a couple of days ago, I did a video showing how to find out when they send you emails, and they will send you emails, and you would think that, okay, this email is coming from First American Home Mortgage or Stewart Title, companies like that, legit companies, but they're spamming them. They're spoofing them. And then you go and they say, yeah, here's the documents, just download the documents. And then you click on it. And next thing you know, your computer just set on fire internally and all of that. So this people, in other words, like you said, if they didn't, especially what my wife said, if I didn't call for you, don't call me. If I didn't send for you, don't call me. So what I do is when you actually get an email out of the blue talking about they want notary services from you, I email them back and say, hey, give me a call so we can coordinate. And if I never hear from them, I don't worry about it.
Another thing that you can do when you get those emails is all the way at the bottom, if there's a little link there that says unsubscribe, it's not official. And they have to have that in their emails. So that's another thing that you can look at, because everything else will sound good, but all the way down there at the bottom, they'll have a little link that says unsubscribe. Which
means that's a marketing thing from SurveyMonkey and places like that.
Yep.
That they're doing and all of that. So you do have to, because they know new notaries are desperate.
Look, I got one today from a USA signing agent, and listen to this. It says, if you don't get $200 a signing in 2022, you technically are taking a pay cut. Now, how are you to tell me that I'm taking a pay cut when I'm looking at the CD and I'm looking at everything and I see that this company only got paid $120 and they're giving me 65 of that?
Right.
So how are you telling me I'm taking a pay cut if I'm not getting 200 when they didn't even get 200?
Correct. See, that's the common sense approach.
What about this right here? I'm sorry.
Just make a comment. The pricing depends on the area in which you live, and that's what a lot of notaries don't understand. Like if you're in the middle of nowhere, like in Montana or something, driving through snow, you're going to get a different price than somebody like me who's in the city. And I have to drive 10 minutes to closing. So you have to take those things into consideration. And that's a lot of people don't understand that. When people say I'm making $1 million a month or whatever they're saying they're making, you don't know where they live and you don't know what's happening in their area. Okay, so
right.
What about this right here? Mm-hmm. What about this right here? I took a Apostille training course. And so the guy was saying that, he can give us leads on Apostille, people that need to get their stuff apostillized, whatever. But his whole marketing thing was that he wanted to take over my Google business page.
Nope.
And no.
So So
Nope.
that was the plan or whatever. And I was like, huh? I was like, I can't set up a separate, you can't do a separate Google business page for me. And he was like, no, because and then he goes on saying that, you know, he could send us people, you know, even like with general notary work and all of this, whatever. So at first I was like, okay with it. You know, I wasn't really thinking. Then after a while, I was like, you know what? I can't have him take over my business page, my Google business page, because I can just market it myself because I've been getting, you know, good responses off of it. So I'm just gonna just put what I do in it, and if the people that need to get their stuff apostolized, then they'll just contact me. You know.
So
Yeah.
let me
So.
just
Yeah,
explain what's happening there. So there's companies that will go out to different people and say, hey, you know, if you let me take over your page or whatever, they'll send you a code and whatever. And essentially what they're doing is they're saying, I have, instead of them having one location, they'll count you as a second location. So they're doing all the marketing and getting all the leads and getting all the money based on your location. Does that make sense? So,
Mm-hmm.
so they're getting the money, and it's your page that they're just taking advantage of because they say, hey, well, it's legitimate, it's a location, but all the leads will go to them. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that happens with that, especially if they're using, like, if they want to use their web page, you know, and kind of advertise for them, that creates a backlink for them on one of your pages. So that helps with SEO, and all it does is it helps boost their business. That's it. It does nothing for you, but it does a lot for them.
Right. And again, that's it. Here's that
Yeah.
scam stuff. You know, they find all these creative ways to try to take advantage of you. and it's not right, you know. And that's why I do what I do with my channel, try to not necessarily expose, but try to make people aware of what's going on out there. Because, and again, for me, the disheartening thing is that there are notaries out here. I've been in the business this June to be 4 years. And there are notaries who got way more experience than me, and they know this kind of stuff is going on, and they never say anything about it. They never wave the flag of warning to other notaries that this is going on. And I don't understand why. I'm like, if you know your colleagues are getting taken advantage of, why don't you say something? Protect them. What I don't understand, what is the harm when you know that somebody is doing something wrong? Why you can't say something? And it's not that you have to have a YouTube channel and getting views and all that. It's just put the word out there, you know. Hop on there and just say, hey, be careful of this, that, or the other, you know, because it's happening. I mean, people are getting taken advantage of left and right, and they don't understand why, and it's confusing. And then it's like, again, especially when you then talk to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, they almost got me. And I'm like, okay, me and you've been cool for like 3 months, and you never said anything. Huh. Okay. And that right there breaks the trust. It's like, and you never thought, you know this. Oh yeah. And especially when they can articulate the whole pattern. Yeah, this is what's going on, and they do this and they do that, and you're like, so you know, but you didn't say anything. I'm gonna just walk back from you, nice and slow, ain't turning my back on you. I'm gonna keep my eye on you and close the door and be like, block all of that, because we got to look out for each other. We really do. We got to look out for each other in this business. You know, people will tell you to, you know, try to, you know, demand a certain fee and all of that kind of stuff, knowing that certain companies ain't playing that.
Right.
You know, I mean, you try to demand a certain fee with Notary Go. Notary Go is the cheapest company out there. Sorry, Notary Go. Y'all know it. Everybody know it.
It is what it is.
I know you're gonna.
I've never worked for that company, but they did. I did accept a thing. The guy calls me. Yeah, hey, you'll do it for $75? No, I won't. Okay, we'll get somebody else.
Yeah, and oh, hold on.
Yeah, Notary Go is the king of sending $30 requests for a 2-hour drives. I get them all the time, and I'm getting ready to stop accepting and ask them to take my number out of their whatever they're using, because $30, $45, and you have me driving an hour and 45 minutes away. Where does that make sense? Like, how the audacity to even try to send that to somebody? You know, like,
Yeah.
that's not even, you know, $45 for an hour and 45-minute drive one way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It don't even make sense.
Well, so the reason why these companies exist is they leech off of new notaries, because new notaries, they don't know any different. They're like, I need the work, you know, and Griff's talked about this, you know, yeah, you should take this work. I mean, maybe not $30, but you should take these initially, but you shouldn't be stuck in that realm where you're taking these low ball fees. But, you know, if you're desperate, you take that stuff, and that's, you kind of
it's
have
good
to have
to get started.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to get started. You know, like
start.
to do some applications. That's a great place. You know, Notary Go has a lot of loan applications. So if you want to get a couple under your belt, sign up with them. You'll get them.
Yeah. And look, there's companies now. There's some companies that I've done closings for the last 2-3 years, and they never did loan applications, and all of a sudden they started doing them because it's another revenue for them.
Mm-hmm.
And loan applications are good things, because by doing a loan application, that means somebody is applying for a mortgage or refinance or something, and there's a chance that they get it, and then guess what? You may get that you may get the notification, or they may assign it to you. But even if you don't get it, it's still good, because then it's work that's coming into the area, and it's because here's the process. I'm the mortgage company. I asked Jeff to apply for a loan. Jeff applies for the loan. He gets the loan. He's happy with the deal. What do I do as a loan officer? Hey, do you have any referrals? Do you have any people that I can share this out to? Yeah, you can tell Q. Then he gives me Q's information. I hit Q up. I say, hey, Q, your buddy Jeff said you might be in the market for a mortgage. We did a good deal for him. We did this, that, or the other. And then let's just say Q got his situation is even better than Jeff's, better credit score, all of that. Well, guess what? We can give you even a better deal than what Jeff got because of your financial status. Now Q does it, and next thing you know, you got 2 loan applications within about 2-3 months, and it just rolls that way. Because if you ever paid attention in some of those loan packets, they have a survey that they ask them to fill out, and they even ask them for referrals, because then they go and share it with their friend. Because if you're happy with what I did, you'll tell your friends. But here's the problem. Notaries have been told don't do loan applications.
That's the start of the cycle.
Right. That is the start. That is the beginning of the whole cycle. But you're being told by these cats in Facebook, Clubhouse, and everywhere else, don't do it. You're told not to do that because it's not paying $150 or $200. It's paying $50 or $75. And yeah, there's some that I've seen, they pay $45 for a loan application. But there's nothing for you to do except hand them the papers, they sign it, and you leave. And a lot of companies don't even need you to ship them back. They just want to scan, just to say that the person signed these papers, because there's nothing that needs to be notarized. And then they can get the ball rolling. They tell you, hold on to the loan documents, the loan application for 7 days, and then shred it after that. I'm like, what is all? You can't go to work and make $45 just handing somebody some paper at your job. So why can't you make $45 doing this? And the paper cost is minimal, no matter who out there. And I'm gonna say this. Hold up, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna come back to y'all in 1 second. To all of y'all out there who keep talking all this foolishness about the paper cost this and it's gonna cost this, that, and the other, look at my video out there about the real cost of printing. It don't cost that much if you get your paper at an affordable price. If you're sitting up there spending $85 to $100 on a case of letter, yes, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you don't have to, okay? All right, back to the party, people. But that's the thing, because people acting like, well, when I print, like somebody on, and this is why I don't like Notary Cafe. And I'm sorry, Notary, I don't. You know, two reasons I don't like Notary Cafe. One, I posted a link to my video, my YouTube channel to help a lady out, and they hit me up, told me I was spamming people, which I wasn't. And then there was somebody on Notary Cafe saying that every order you do, it costs $40 in expenses to do a closing. Just she said, if you do an $85 order, you have $40 in expenses. So you're not really making any money. So she's like, that's why I asked for $200 a signing, because $40 of it automatically comes out. And what they're doing is they're calculating all of these mysterious things of car depreciation, the gas mileage, the computer. I mean, literally say the depreciation of your computer. Most people got a computer that's already 5 years old when they start the business. So your computer is already depreciated out its value. A lot of people have used cars that have cars that are considered used now that are 5 years or older. So the depreciation value to that is your value of that is gone. You know, you paid $20,000 for it. You'll be lucky if you get $3,000 for that car at the stage that it is. So you're trying to use that as a way to depreciate, saying the depreciation value of your printer. Every time you use your printer, it's depreciating. This moment you bought the printer, it was worthless. After you spent your $300, you're not going to be able to sell it for that $300 once you take it out the box.
Right.
Once you take it out the box, all you can say is it was been open, it's never been used, and I can sell it to you for $200.
Yep, like $100 off.
Right. You get $100 off. So the depreciate. So now you know what I'm saying? So the values that they're using to justify saying it cost me $40 to do this closing in expenses is completely wrong, because what happens if you got an electric car? What if you got to travel via the highway, which you get better gas mileage on your car versus driving city? All of these are factors. And how do you depreciate the amount of time that you use your computer to print the documents, and the electricity and the air you breathe and the time you're sitting on your chair? All of these are things that people are making up to say that it's costing you all of this money, and that's the justification for demanding so much more. And my throwback always is, how much is it costing you to go to your W-2?
Right. You never factor that in.
You don't factor those things in, but you accept that $15 an hour or that $12 an hour at your W-2, and you don't say a word. But it costs you money in daycare, your clothes, all of this stuff that you got to do just to go to work every day, having lunch, all of that. And then if you got a group that we like to go out for lunch every day, and you struggling financially, and and every day it's costing you $8 to $12 to go to lunch, because that's what they do, and that's what the cool kids at the job do. But you don't factor any of that in at the end of those 2 weeks. And then when they come to you at the end of the year and they say, we're only going to give you 0.3% of a pay raise, you say, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine, right?
That's all you do. You give them a thumbs up, and you say, well, guess what, boss? I'm really happy. They give you 2 thumbs up. And I have my little kids too, Man, and TT. They right there. Everybody, my husband thumbs up. We'll take that 0.03% of a pay raise. And inflation is 4% or 7% now, actually. You see what I'm saying? And you say nothing about that, but then you come in this notary business and you're going to demand that somebody give you $200, and you can't even ask for $200 in a job that you got a degree in. That's the part that don't make sense. And you feel justified. And they will make you, Nada, they will make you feel justified in demanding a certain fee just because you paid a couple of grand to get into this industry, but you got a daggone student loan that's 15 times the amount that you paid to get in this business. But nobody tells you to go to your job and demand $200 an hour. They say, girl, you better be glad you got that, because they got benefits. They got benefits, and they paying you every week, and you got retirement, and you got I'm gonna just take that $15 and be happy with it. That's the reality of what's going on out here. And young notaries such as yourself can get caught up into that. And next thing you know, you're like, shoot, if they ain't paying me this, I ain't going nowhere. And then next thing you know, what do you end up having? Let me add it to the stream. You have this here as a paperweight and paperweight number 2. That's what you end up having. You having these here as paperweights because what? You sitting up here trying to flex like you it, and you're not. That's where the problem comes in at. But you're going to be all right because you're here with me now. So we're going to take good care of you. What'd you say?
Yeah, I was saying I understand now the whole scam thing. You know, I never really thought about it. You know, I didn't think that you can scam a notary because it's like that's a government kind of, you know what I mean? That's state type of stuff. Like, you know, why would you infiltrate the state? That's like state time in jail, right?
Right.
To do something like that. Yeah. So now I got something to look out for.
Yeah, you got to look out for it. And they will. they will. And I'll just be honest with you. I'm just tell you straight up. They will use that sister girl on you. Sister girls. And
you know what? In this industry, I just found like it's so many women that look like me. It's so many, I guess, sister girls that are in this industry. It's so many. You know, it's a lot of us. Like when I go to Clubhouse, I'm sitting there like, wow, look at all these sisters in here. Like everybody, it's like all of us is in this thing, you know?
Yeah. And I know some of the ladies, and I'm not against people making money. People always accuse me, but Griff don't want the sister to make no money. No, I want you to make money. I just don't want you taking advantage of people in order to do it. That's my concern. You're taking advantage of people.
Yeah, what do you think about this right here? Because one of the sister girls, I would like to say, you know, I took a course with her and she was all about business credit, right? Then I watched another sister girl say that, you know, business credit, she's against it because why do you need to go in debt just for like printers and scanners and all this kind of stuff? Like, you know, stay away from the business credit type of stuff because people are trying to sell that to us. So I'm like, you know, I don't know what you think about that, the whole business credit stuff.
Well, the business credit, and I've talked about this before. Here's where the business credit. Okay, first of all, if you're not doing it full time, you may not need business credit. Okay, and how much work you actually getting coming in. Then with business credit, you also have to look at the fact that with business credit, you have to look at, have you been doing the business for 2 years? More than likely, no. What are they going to do? They're going to base your credit. They're going to base how much they give you as credit off of your credit score. So yeah, you may have a Dun and Bradstreet number, but they still say, okay, we're going to have you do a personal guarantee as the individual for your business. Okay. Yeah. Then if you don't even, now keep in mind, a lot of people they promote not having an LLC. So you're trying to do it as a sole proprietor, which ties it into your social security number anyway, instead of your EIN. And even if you do have an EIN for your sole proprietor, it still ties it to your social because it's a sole proprietor. It's not a separate entity. Me and my accountant talks about that on the channel under our business interview section playlist. So the question is, you get business credit of $5,000. Now you go and use that $5,000 to get the business started. But then you're being told by people only take orders of a certain dollar amount. Now you done spent the first 3 months not really making any money because you're trying to get 150 or more, but you passed up $6,000 worth of $100 or less, say $65 to $100. So you see this range of $60 to $100 or even $125 that you could have took and made about $4 or $5 grand. But your people, these people, brother man and sister girls have said, do not take those orders because that diminishes you, that makes you look cheap, that hurts the notary business. So now you don't take those orders, but the orders you do take don't nowhere near net you what you need to pay or your business credit because you maxed out your business credit card. You got to pay them back $5,000. And guess what? Next thing you know, in 6 months, you're paying back more because now it's also the interest. And then if you see what I'm saying? So you can do the business credit, but you got to understand, do I have the revenue coming in? Because it all based on revenue. You got to have the revenue. And if you don't have the revenue, then what's the purpose of even doing business credit? Because from a W-2 standpoint, just from a personal standpoint, you're not going, okay, let's say you have, I know you're younger than me, but let's say you had a son who was 18, 19 years old, and he's like, I don't feel like working. Or he does work, but he's only making $7 an hour. Son, what are you doing with a $15,000 credit card? You don't have the revenue to come in that's coming in to pay it, because once he gets over $500 or maybe $1,000, the monthly payment that he has to make might be more than what he's making at $7.50 an hour. So that doesn't make sense. So why am I getting business credit and I don't have the revenue to pay it? Now, I could have the revenue to pay it if I do what? If I go and I work the business. But I'm being told not to work the business. I'm being told to get credit. And I'm not against the business credit, but you have to have the revenue. And no, there's not a financial planner or accountant that won't tell you the same. I'm trying to find something for you here. I'm trying to find a video. Okay, so let me show y'all this here. This video right here in the middle with me with the blue shirt on. That's the video you need to look at. Called Results of Not Doing Signings Below 100 or 150. I went in depth at that time that I did this video. I had just hit over $100,000 that I've made in the 3 years of me doing it mostly part-time. And I show people step by step. Y'all need to look at this video. And I'm surprised it only got 2,000 views. And yeah, I want them views up on this video because it's going to help educate you that had I not taken those orders that was under $100, I would have only brought in about $60-some thousand in my first 3 years. I also show you, had I only done orders of $150 or more during that same time period, I would have only made $14,000 in revenue. So the question becomes this: how can I go to my wife? You're talking about the theme of this here about getting your support, having support. How can I go talk to my spouse and my kids and whoever about going full time in this business when I'm only making $14,000 over a 3-year period? Because I said I can only do $150 or more, but all of the other orders that I missed out on, that I didn't take, I'm like, that helped me to be at $100,000. So I don't understand the whole concept. Okay, he had to run. I don't understand the whole concept of do stuff to get more debt, but don't do anything to mitigate that debt by having revenue to pay it off. Because for some companies, if you don't use their business lines of credit, they will shut you down. Not all of them, but they will shut you down. And there's some credit card companies out there that are like, well, you're not using us, so we're going to shut you down. You seem not to be using us, so they will shut you down. Matter of fact, you get pinged on your credit report by not using your credit. And there's people who completely debt-free, no credit cards, but their credit score is 400. And they're trying to figure out, how am I having a 400 credit score and I have no debt? Because you're not using debt. So if you're going to, yeah, so if you have, and then how? Well, you're saying in Louisiana the minimum y'all getting for a loan closing is 300 to 600. Is that what you're saying, Vanessa? And see, even the way you're saying that, you know, like where you from, 150 is so little. Is it so little? Because I mean, how is 150 little? It's all relative. You get what I'm saying? You know, these are, and I'm, you know, I just got to go based off your statement, and I will go to StreamYard. If you want to hop on, there's the link right there, so you can hop on
Yeah,
and you know, and expound on that, because in Los Angeles, okay, well, in Los Angeles, 300 to 600, that's something. But to say 150 sounds so little is, you got to understand. See, you got to be careful how you communicate things. When you say 150 sounds so little, that's relative. Because right now, if things change in the market as we see that it is going, you'll be like, I'll take the 150. So to say 150 sounds so little, you know, and again, I don't understand the context and how you're coming across in this here statement, but it's like 150 sounds so little. It's like, not necessarily, not if you're constantly getting it, because my question would be this: I do about 60 signings a month. Are you doing 60 signings a month and getting 300 to 600? And is that consistent? That's the question. Because if you're not getting 60 signings a month at 300 to 600, and I'm getting 60 signings at 150, who ends up making out the most? You get what I'm saying? That's the key. So you got to be mindful and careful when you're saying, you know, what this dollar amount is little, that's not enough. You know, just like people who go to Whole Food and they spend extra money to go to Whole Food. I'm like, you overspending. That same syrup at Whole Food cost $5. You paying $7 for it. I go to Walmart and you get what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, you getting taken for ... But you feel good. Like, well, I'm at Whole Foods, you know, Whole Foods. It's, you know, spandex central. Everybody in Whole Foods in spandex, men and women, kids, everybody in spandex in Whole Foods. If y'all, I'm serious.
If I see a man in spandex, I'm done. Like, I'm going back to Giant.
Yeah. Well, they'll wear the spandex with the shorts over top.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Let's do that. But Whole Foods is spandex heaven. Everybody, and the yoga pants, I call them, meaning the yoga pants. Everybody in some kind of yoga pants, and the people be sitting there, them and Trader Joe's. I sit back and I see the women looking at each other like, who got the best looking spandex on or yoga pants on. And then what's a trip when two people come in there and they got the same exact yoga pants. And then it's like, well, I look, you know, they looking at each other like, well, I look better in my yoga pants than you, even though they the same. I'm like, y'all need to cut this out. Go get your lettuce and go home. I'm like, y'all need to cut this out. But back to Miss Vanessa, I hear what you're saying, but 150 is not so little because most people are not getting 150 an hour at their W-2. And if you are working a W-2 and you think about it, you run the numbers. If you ran the numbers and you get 150 a signing, and you can do very, very well with that. So 150 times 60, that's $9,000 a month. You tell me that's so little?
So, yeah, there needs to be more context behind that statement, you know,
right?
Like where is that 300? Are you going title direct? Because everybody's not going title direct. And, you know, do you have an existing relationship with a company? You know what I mean? Like that grants you 300, like you might make 300 to 600, but somebody else working with that same company may not, because you have a pre-existing, you know, a pre-existing relationship with them. So, you know, there needs to be more context to that. And like Griff was saying, you got to be careful with how you throw that out there.
Right. You know, and I'm looking at the number. So 300 times 60, that's 18 grand. And the question is that going to be consistent every single month? And then do you have the personal logistics to handle 18 grand? And even going back to Nada's statement about the business credit, my thing is this: if I got 18 grand coming in, why do I need business credit? Why do I need business credit where I'm paying somebody interest on the money? Because here's the problem: most people are not paying off their debt anyway. So you get business credit of $5,000, you spend $2,500, and then you let that $2,500 sit there and linger, and now you're paying about $4,000 total because of the interest. So if you're bringing in 18 grand, yes, you can use business credit to buy your supplies, and then you go pay it directly off. That's why I use my Amazon business account. In the description is a link to that. You can get your Amazon business account where you're not paying any interest, and you buy everything that you need off of Amazon. And majority of what you would need, you can get off of Amazon. In some cases, it might be a little more expensive, but if you don't have the necessary cash on hand, and I did a video about, how Amazon benefited me, the business credit, the line of credit, and I think that line of credit that I have is like $9,000. So that's a $9,000 line of credit that I have, and I can buy whatever I need from Amazon, and then I pay it off in 30 days, and I'm free and clear. So that's the kind of business credit that I like. I like lines of credit, and that I have to pay off after a certain amount of time. So $300 to $600, okay, that sounds good, but that's not the norm, and you got to qualify that statement. You just can't say, yeah, this is what it is. It's like, and I'm dealing with this because there are a lot of people who make these statements on social media, and then you don't really hear the context of what they're saying. So she says that she gets what I mean. Yeah. So 150, never diminish what another human being can make. Never. Because just like somebody, where's my man? I saw this comment earlier and I want to get back on it. To pay, said, I'm a new notary and want to know why other notaries are concerned about orders I take. My strategy is to get experience. My 90-day probationary is nearly over. I didn't know notaries is on probationary period. I didn't know that. I mean, what they got you on, you ain't got to go see no probation officer or nothing like that. They ain't got no ankle bracelet on you and stuff. So I didn't know there was a probationary period for notaries and all of that stuff. I ain't never heard of that, unless that's a self-imposed thing that you're doing. The reason why, in my opinion, notaries are concerned about what you're making is because they want to sit there and pocket watch. They want to sit there and pocket watch and look at what you're doing and then tell you that what you're doing isn't good enough. How do they know what you're doing isn't good enough unless you tell them? It's been proven time and time again that people who show their numbers with Notary Assist or Notary Gadget, they can have multiple Notary Gadget accounts. They can have a Notary Assist account and a Notary Gadget account. And where their real numbers are is in, say, Notary Assist, but they're using Notary Gadget to make you think they're making $20,000 a month. They can fudge those numbers. And you don't even realize that, and you get all starry-eyed, like, wow, that could be me. And then you go tell your family, and then your family looking at you after 3 months, and all they see is $180 that you made. There's a problem there. And this and that right there can, so even if you're trying to get your family support, which is what we were talking about, you can mess around and cause your family not to support you because you entered this business wrong. Any thoughts, man?
No, you're 100% right. I mean, I can't say it any better than you.
Yeah, thank you. So like, you got a 6-figure career. So that's what I'm saying. Why are you worrying about somebody who's just doing this part-time and they already making $100K? They already making what you claim you're trying to make. Let them do their thing. You do your thing, and everybody will be the better. That's really what it boils down to. And see, here's the thing. All of this, nobody's really providing proper support. They're sitting there telling you what you should be making, but nobody's really helping you, because when you get into these notary groups, what is the first thing that people are saying? How do I notarize this document?
Right.
But you done paid for training left and right, and the training you paid for never taught you how to be a notary. It taught you how to market. And even when I was talking to some people earlier today and this week, they was talking about how, like the young people, they know how to market on social media. I'm like, okay, you can. I said, but marketing isn't the business, unless that's your business to market. Your business is being a notary, notarizing documents. Your Canva ad can't notarize the documents for you. Your Facebook, your YouTube promo, none of that can do the job for you. You have to do it.
That's
and the
number
problem
one.
is, huh?
I said that's number one.
Right. So if you can't do the job, then what are you marketing? And I keep saying the number one way to market your business is to be able to do the business. And if you can't do the business, then what are you marketing? What's the use of marketing donuts when the people get to your store, there's no donuts? Well, why aren't there any donuts, Griff? Look, I ain't figured out how to make them. I just got some pictures off the internet of donuts, and I was just letting y'all know I'm gonna do a donut shop. Okay, but I'm here to pick the donuts up. I get that, but I'm waiting for my partner to come back from Dunkin' Donuts, because they had the old donuts that they was putting out in the back, and we always snatch them up, and then we put them in the microwave and soften them up and sell them to you.
Right.
But you ain't made it yourself.
It's like saying I gotta wait for my mentor.
Right.
I need my mentor to show me how to do this.
Correct. So this is what I'm talking about, people. Y'all have the ability, because many of you have gone out there and done great things that you've been successful at, that are probably more critical than being a notary. You've gotten married, you've had kids, you bought a house, you switched jobs, you've moved in different states, you've dealt with divorce, you've dealt with death. And you mean to tell me out of all 7 of those different things that I just named, you can't handle being a notary? You can't figure out that all I need to do is sign and stamp the paper, and I'm not legally required to know these documents inside and out. I have to verify ID, which the state tells you how to do that. I have to put it in my logbook to show the state can show you how to do that. And then some states you don't need a logbook, and then I stamp this document that I signed.
Right.
And you mean to tell me you can't figure that out? You need an $800 course to do that. You need to pay somebody $500 a month as a mentor just to show you that.
They need all the documents, Griff, all of them. Like every single one that's out there, they need all the documents to feel comfortable. Give me every single document that's out there so I can feel comfortable.
Right. And that's the problem. And that's part of what I'm doing, as me and Q was talking about, with the notary success system that I'm starting. Hold on one sec. Hold on. Griffin Notary. Hey, what's going on, Doug? I did get in Hill Prince, and I submitted it last night. That's going to be next week. The person who that I need to meet with, they wasn't available today, so I'm gonna do them on Monday, and then I'm gonna do the 2 Hampton ones on Wednesday. And this weekend, I'm gonna knock out 19 Kirby.
19 Kirby's not ready yet.
Okay, 19 Kirby not ready.
What other 2 enhancements do you have?
That 112 and that 112 Seeger and that 119 Second Street, or it might be reversed.
So Seeger's ready, Second Street is not.
Okay.
I need another week on Kirby and Second.
Okay, so I'm writing that down now. So Kirby and Second, another week.
Another week. And Buckingham will be ready for you on Monday as well if you want to do that one.
Buckingham, that was the 2335 or something like that. I think I've done that one already. Yeah, Buckingham that one might be done already. I think I'll double check.
I told you it wasn't ready.
Okay, I might be getting you confused with another client.
Okay.
And everything. Let me hold up.
I told you to be ready at the end of this week.
I'm trying to see. I don't see Buckingham on here. I might have.
You sent me on your text 35, 2015 St. Dennis.
Okay.
So this guy doesn't even know that he's providing a training course for everybody on the live right now.
That was that a yellow house with hardwood floors in it, I think? Owned by an Asian guy. Yeah, I remember. I think hold up. Let me pull that up on the map.
So this is like an insight. This is an insight into home inspections. Some of the conversations that go on.
So 3532 Buckingham in Norfolk. Because I recognize it when I see the.
Yeah, Seeger's ready.
So anybody that's looking to get into home inspections, these are the conversations that you're going to be having.
Yeah, Buckingham, I think. Okay, that one. Yeah, I actually ended up doing that one. I remember that one. That was the white one. So that his like, I call it the Mexican style house.
Yeah,
That's an official term by Griff, the Mexican style house.
Yeah, that one I actually done and submitted.
Griff should probably mute me right now.
It was in good condition. Well, to be honest, they don't really care about it being complete. At least that's what I've been told. Because I've gone into houses where they're still putting the floors in and stuff. So that one, because the floors was done, I know y'all was still doing the bathrooms and all of that. Now the only thing is, and see, this is where it gets confusing. The people who contact me groundwork.
I'm trying, Shannon. I know y'all just sitting there listening.
They're like, hey, go get the order. But then there have been times where the bank is like, oh, well, now what we really wanted was to see the house at this stage. So sometimes there's a disconnect between groundworks and the bank, or who's submitting the order and saying, hey, go get this order done.
You see how serious Griff is? He's talking with his hands, so he's definitely setting the point straight for everybody.
Where I went out and did the house inspection, and the person in your position, the investor, has told the bank, we're still working on it, and the bank is like, no, we need it done. And then when I went out and did it, submitted it, then the bank was like, oh, well, now that we see the pictures, we really want to see it once the cabinets gets done.
I hope y'all don't leave.
They have to send you back out there. So that can happen from time to time.
Okay. All right. Don't go to 110.
Yeah, see, Griff set him straight. Now he got the message. It was the hands that did it. The guy knew that the hands was in play. He could just tell.
So gotcha. All right, so I'll take care of Seeger next week up there in Hampton, and then and then 2515 Dennis, because I think Seeger. So then
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Doesn't have any people in it. It's vacant. Okay, well if that's vacant, then I might be able to shoot up there, because I know that means they will have the lockbox on it, hopefully, and I can knock that out. 2759 lockbox. All right. Bet. Okay. See, I was thinking that. Okay, that's what I kept asking them. Was it vacant? They kept saying, "Well, the representative, the out in the field representative, had to meet me there." But okay, so I'll look to try to get the Hampton one done this weekend, and then St. Dennis, is that vacant or that occupied?
That's occupied. I gave property management your phone number, and they were going to call you and set it up.
Right, and I'm set up.
2015 and 17 is a duplex.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't sure. They mentioned that about it being a duplex and nobody, and the order only had 15 in there, but I can do both. That's not a problem.
Yeah, do both.
Okay, so I'm scheduled to meet them.
Griff, they're still here
next
for
week.
you. Don't worry. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm scheduled to meet them next Monday. Yeah, I'm scheduled to meet them on Monday at noon.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is the home inspection signing
Yeah, we're good
service.
to go. All right. So yeah, I'm sorry it's taking so long, but we'll get it all done for you.
That's all right. And I'll get Kirby and
This is live training.
those appraisals. All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Anytime, buddy. All right. That's what happened. I don't know. Y'all can't see it too well. I got to be careful, but all of these I got. Oh, snap. What? I got
a shiny phone.
Oh, that's the case. Yeah, I got 10 house inspections on queue that I got to get done. So some of them, and sometimes like the guy, he's an investor, so he's still trying to remodel them. And the bank wants the pictures done, the assessment done on them. So the bank tells Groundworks, hey, get it done. I'm trying to get it done. And he's like, nah, hold up. It's not ready. So I went and did one of them. And again, once I saw the house from the Google map picture, I was like, oh, okay, I know which one that is. So once I saw that, and they were still fixing it up. So he wants it to be complete, but the bank sometimes doesn't care. So yeah, so that's all that was. So we straight on that. So so 2 of the properties don't have to, and then that means I can actually go and knock those out this weekend and get them done over there in Hampton. So that's perfect. That works out perfect for me. So let's see what these things saying here. I learned that ain't business everybody. Yeah, it's about bringing facts. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all, as I always am. The bottom line is this: a lot of people are out here trying to make money off of YouTube. To make money off of YouTube, you got to be somewhat dramatic, somewhat controversial, and you have to give people what they think they want, even though it really ends up being, as they say, a nothing burger. But I got the clicks, I got the views. That's why if you look at my videos, especially a lot of times when I'm getting high controversial, like the video I did about the person stealing my content, that got a lot of views on it. But other videos I got out there, it might take a year for them to get 1,000 views. I'm cool with that. I'm not trying to use YouTube to make money, but you have a lot of people this is their money maker. They do notary for a little bit, and now they bow out, and now they're saying, I'm going to train, I'm going to mentor, and look, I know y'all look at me, some of y'all, and I'm not against you doing that. My concern is that there are some precious people out here who really need help. And after a year of doing something, and then you're trying to be a trainer in it, it's not going to take long for the people who you're trying to work with to have outgrown you. And as a trainer and a mentor, the people should never outgrow you. That's why I would never try to train and mentor people who've been in the business just as much as me, especially if they've been doing out here working it and they got 3-4 years in like me. It's hard for me to sit here and try to stop doing the business and then say, okay, I'm gonna mentor you, because within 6 months to a year, they're going to have more time and experience than me. And I'm going to be educating them based on past knowledge while they're getting current knowledge because they're actively doing it. Right. So if you can find a way to stay actively doing it, but if you don't want to do the loan closings, it's too much. I don't like being in the office. I don't like being out in the field. I don't even like printing and all of that. Then I'm like, what are you mentoring somebody in? What are you trying to mentor them do? You're really just mentoring them to get going through their first year. And after 2 or 3 years of you doing that, you're out of the loop because the first year part has changed for so many people. the whole requirements and stuff has changed. So you got to stay relevant in this. Now, again, people who are younger than me, you're not going to see that. You're like, Griff, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to make this money. I'm trying. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, you're going to be like, okay, after a while, people going to be like, you ain't really got nothing to offer me because your knowledge is here and they done surpassed you and got up to here. And guess what? Once they surpass you, then guess what? They can then turn into a trainer or a mentor. And that means they can take your clientele because guess what? They can now say, I have more experience than the person who trained me. They stopped doing the business. They quit doing the business, but I'm still in there. And that means more to anybody. And I'll tell you, a lot of people tell me, they say, Griff, we appreciate you. We respect you because you out there doing the business. We see you doing the business, doing the closings, doing the house inspections, all of that. Whereas a lot of notaries, you don't even hear them talking about them doing the business anymore. People who started, a lot of notaries who started 12 to 18 months ago, they don't even talk about doing closings anymore because they've stopped. And for some of them, it's because they found out they're not that good at it. They don't know their state law and they screwed themselves up and they've been blacklisted. And others, they just don't feel like doing what it takes to do the business. There's people out there, they don't want to do 60 signings a month. They realize in their area they can get $300. It's only 85 to 90. And to make $6,000, they got to do about 70 close. They don't want to do that. They're like, nah, never mind. That's too much for me. Or their lifestyle with their family and stuff doesn't support it. So now he's like, I'm gonna shift over to this. My thing is this. Like I was talking to a real estate agent. I said, I said, how many, for a brand new real estate agent, how many homes can a real estate agent typically sell their first year? She said 25. 25. Okay. So you're talking about 2 a month, right? Essentially. I said, do you think that person should be able to switch over after a year of doing that, or just selling 25 properties, and then all of a sudden say, I'm a guru and I can train people and educate people and help you to be the next big time real estate agent? She's like, nah. I said, so then why would you listen to somebody in the notary world that falls in that same category? And again, many of you who are looking at me, you know, I know y'all want to be trainers or consider, but let's just be real, okay? And I know you're going to hit the thumbs down and unsubscribe and all of that. That's cool. But being for real, y'all got to think about this. You're messing with people's lives. And if you really don't have the experience, because you wouldn't want that in your own life. And especially if you're married, you wouldn't want your spouse following somebody who's a true novice. So if you don't want your spouse following somebody that's a novice, that's unproven, just because they had a little, it's like just like in the NBA and sports. Oh, that guy, he had a good year back in the day, Michael Vick. I said, yeah, Michael Vick, he gonna have a good couple of years, but after about 3 years, they're gonna craft a defense to shut him down, and that's what they did. Same thing with Cam Newton, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady, old age finally caught up with him. Right. And stuff. But even with him, they started crafting stuff to shut him down. But you give people time, it's like, okay, if you're not continuing to grow, so you don't want your own spouse to be with somebody who's a novice. You won't take advice from somebody who is just not married. Like an example I give sometime, and I'm gonna bounce out of here because I got my 3 o'clock appointment. You are married. This other person is married. Let's just say they've been married longer than you. But the problem is the first year and a half of their marriage, that person hasn't been with their spouse because their spouse has been deployed in the military. But yet they're going to give you relationship advice when they haven't really spent any time with their own spouse. How can you give me advice on my relationship? Because I'm dealing with my spouse on a day-to-day basis and I'm having conflicts with them. How can you give me advice when you're not even with your spouse on a day-to-day basis because they're deployed?
And that's it. Like somebody that's only been in for 6 months, they have not encountered everything that is out there. They haven't encountered a quarter of the things that are out there to be encountered. So you really got to think about, you know, who it is that you're listening to and getting this advice from, you know. And I know you got to go, but that was something that we spoke about last night. You know, you got people out here that are just randomly asking for mentorship and you don't even know who these people are. You're just looking for mentors, going to people looking for mentors, but you haven't gone through and validated them. What makes you, like, if you just go out there and you're in these groups or whatever, and you're saying, I need to find a mentor, and somebody says, I'll be your mentor. What are you doing to vet them, to say that you can be my mentor now? You know what I mean? And I think that that's why a lot of people are so drawn to come to you, because we see what it is that you do. We hear you on the phone. We see you doing the business. You're taking the time to do those things and show people that this is what I do. Not saying that you're everybody's mentor, you know what I mean? But you are a guideline for somebody to go and say, okay, if I'm going to get a mentor, I need to at least be able to get what I'm getting for free from Griff.
Right. Right.
You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
the thing. And that's why I got videos out there. If you go on YouTube and type in Griffin Notary mentorship or mentor, I got videos talking about this stuff so you can understand what a mentor is supposed to help get you to where you're trying to go, not where they're going. The mentor already got there. They already know where they're going. My question every time when somebody asks me to be their mentor is, okay, where are you trying to go? Well, I was just trying to hope you could tell me what to do. Okay, but that's based off of where you're trying to go. Does your lifestyle support doing this full time? Does your wife or your husband, are they down with this? Do you have issues going on with your kids? Can your kid deal with you not being there at 9 o'clock at night to tuck them in? Because if your kid has emotional issues, which any kid could, and that kid has separation anxiety and they don't want to deal with the fact that mommy's not there, daddy not there to tuck me in at 8:30 every night like he's been doing it for the last 5 years, that can be a problem for you when you're trying to do a signing and somebody says, hey, or if y'all got one vehicle and you always got a spouse that always tend to be late, they can't ever be on time, and you can do this business with one vehicle. Me and my wife are doing it, but you got to be able to, okay, are you going to be here on time? Because I got to sign in at 7. I can't have you come in at 6:35. I need you here at 5:30. Right. Is she going to say, well, I was over there with the girls and we was talking, or I was out with the fellas, this, that, and the other. You can't see all of this kind of stuff. So you talking about, I want you to be my mentor. And I say, okay, go do this. And my first thing is look at the videos that I have and take the first orders that you got coming in. Well, I was told that not supposed to take those, then I can't be your mentor.
Right.
Then you might as well just if your mindset is that, don't even call me. Don't even call me, because I'm gonna tell you, get out there, take some orders, make you some money.
Yeah, Miss K said it right. It's about 2:40, bro.
All right, man. I'm about to bounce out of here. I ain't got that far to go to it, but I'll be there quick. I already printed the documents and everything's in the car. So
yeah, I got prepped to get started myself. So
all right. Well, thank y'all, party people. Y'all have a good one. Had a great time over here. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.